So what we're doing here is using unrendered capping wax, melting it down and making up these candy board frames, but rather than paint them with latex paint, we're just painting them with beeswax. It'll serve as a preservative, and it's bee friendly, so why not? So I refer to these as candy board frames, and indeed they could be used as candy board frames, but let me just clarify a little bit. A candy board, what you'll do is you'll take the frame and you'll cast the entire thing with, sugar cake. So it's a solid block, and you put it on the hive the first day of winter or so, and through the course of the winter the bees eat the sugar off of the candy board until just the frame and the wire are left. Obviously this is not even fall yet, so why am I putting these things on? Well, I'm not going to use them as candy boards quite yet. The intent here is to provide something that I can put various types of feed on top of, such as mason jars with sugar water, wax paper with powdered pollen on it, pollen substitute, or anything else. So I'm just using them as a support frame so that I don't have to put these things directly onto the frames in the hive. The sugar water bottles, if you do that, they have a tendency through capillary action to just drain all over the place. So this wire would support whatever I put in the hives for them to eat. The real mission for today, however, was to address our queenless hive. We wanted to see that they reared a queen and she was starting to lay, because if she wasn't, then it was time to do something, such as recombine this hive with the other hive. So I wanted to see at least eggs in there. I wanted to see enough to believe that there would be enough momentum that she could have a nice amount of worker bees, nurse bees, to get her through the winter. And if not, we'd have to take some action. So, time to dig into this hive and take a look. Okay, so this is the hive. It was queenless, and it's really its last chance to go in and find brood. If I can't find larva, eggs, and brood today, then this hive's going to start moving over to the location where that other hive is, and I'm going to combine the two, because we just don't have enough time left. Unless, they've started to have a producing queen. If they have a producing queen, I'll probably come back and throw a pollen patty on them. Again, the bees seemed calm, but there was a distinct lack of population, as compared to what you should be able to see. There's some weight to the super. That's a good thing. There are still bees in here, I'm going to move to the side that is less populated. I don't expect to find brood here, but a heavy frame of old honey followed by another frame of nectar and honey. Nothing. Now, this is where the bees have been clustering more, so. Cleaned cells, bee bread, cells, I'm seeing jelly in some of these cells. Could be my vision is too bad to see the eggs. If there are eggs and it's a very poor queen, well, then the fate would still have to be the same. We'd still have to combine it with the other hive. Again, I'm going to take this one to the light. I'm going to say I believe this one still is queenless. They are calm, kind of, but I'm certainly not seeing any pattern of brood. Not seeing any brood that I can see of. I may have seen some eggs, but we'll start moving this hive over closer to the one I'm going to combine it with. And as we do that, that'll take about a week. And I'll definitely go back in it and make sure. But my gut is telling me that these girls just went hopelessly queenless. As to why they're even as calm as they are, I don't know. As I'm working them, they're getting louder. I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep that honey super on there. They seem to be defending it well right now. There's no wax moth, there's no hive beetles running over it. But if their population keeps dropping off. Right now this hive doesn't look like it has as much of a workforce as the nuke hive. So it makes sense to be moving this hive to that location rather than leaving that stronger workforce behind. They sure seem to hang in this area. That's the area I thought I saw jelly in, but I might be just being an optimist right now. I have every reason to believe that these girls are queenless. And speaking of other tiny colony, let's go take a look at it. Rather tiny little colony. A lot of bees on the inner cover. They still look like they're a very frame colony though. They're really not building out. We know these guys are untouched over here, so let's just grab one out. If I combine these colonies, I know which frames I'm going to pull. Haven't really done anything. This still got just a tiny bit of draw on it, but there's no nectar in it. I think I've used the nectar in here. If this keeps up, I'm going to have to start feeding these guys. Well, they seem to have an ever-increasing workforce. It just might not be... Oh, well, they're filling this frame up. Oh. Nice, solid brood pattern. Beautiful. Both sides, too. Okay. Good. Lots of larvae. Lots of brood. Pretty much every cell's got something in some stage in it. I was gonna say less on this side, but I'm looking at these empty cells and they got eggs in them. All right. They're doing good. The only thing I have. So I'm gonna put a feeder frame on these. They ate the pollen patty that was there. These typically would be called candy boards, but on a candy board you actually cast it with sugar and you put it on in winter. These guys are going on in fall without any food on them, but it allows me to put mason jars of feed or wax paper with pollen substitute or pretty much any other feed in here and still like put a deep super and close the hive off so that I don't encourage any robbing activity. So I'm pretty happy with these girls. It's just really a numbers game. Can they build up enough going into winter to make it a viable hive? I mean, I could shrink this down a little bit, but right now it looks like I'm going to be combining that other hive into this one. So let's just hope she keeps up the brood laying, because that pattern looks pretty good. Oh boy. All right, girls. Back a little later today. I put a pollen patty on this, and now we're faced with the 3-foot 3-mile rule. If we're going to bring another colony over here, I can only bring them over a few feet each day, or the bees will return to the old location. So we'll get that set up. Basically, this little collapsible cart works great for this type of thing. I can slide the hive onto there and then just, nudge it a few feet a day, 2 feet a day until it's into the new location. I used it before, and I guess I'm going to be using it again with these guys. I am hoping for the best. If we get these guys combined, there should be enough reserves and there should be enough nurse bees to get through winter. So, they start their journey